My name is Sonali McDermid, and I'm an assistant professor of environmental studies at New York University. And I'm a climate modeler by training, and I look at the impact and evaluate the impact of climate change on agriculture, but also of agriculture and land use on our environmental systems. And so I've been at NYU for 1 year now and hope to continue. You know, when you start looking at sort of the top industries, you've got coal right up there pretty much, and that would probably be the first and foremost. Now, coal itself, maybe not in China, at least in the US, seems to be on the decline a little bit. So I'm not going to say that's going to take care of itself. It's not. But that's a little bit more of like a point source issue. Agriculture at this point, when you combine it with land use change, meaning deforestation for agricultural purposes, and the bulk of deforestation is usually done for pasture or soybean or, you know, some sort of agricultural reasons. When you combine land use with agriculture, you're looking at about 30% of global emissions. The thing about agriculture that makes it much harder than some of these fossil fuel industries themselves is that the fossil fuel industries tend to be much more regarded as point sources, right? Like there's certain places at which those emissions are occurring, aside from transport, right? That can be pinned down a bit better than agriculture. Agriculture tends to be, you know, by definition, much more heterogeneous, much more widespread, right? And so it's hard to pin down the emissions coming from this particular field, right? Or this, and therefore it's hard to stress some uniform management option the way that you can to coal-fired plants, right? In the most extreme case, shut them down. In the less extreme case, carbon capture and storage and that sort of thing. It's harder to do that with agriculture, but you are looking at about 30% of emissions, right, from agriculture. So that's going to take much more long-term planning. So I think, you know, coal first and the fossil fuel industry in general needs to be targeted perhaps with a maybe a greater sense of urgency, but agriculture is right up there as well too. And if we think that we're going to target the whole problem by just reducing coal and not looking at the other components and not looking at agriculture, we're kind of fooling ourselves, right? Turning the tap down on your faucet is not the same thing as turning it off. If you eliminate coal, you're still going to have emissions, and really what we care about are not emissions but concentrations in the atmosphere, right? Think about the water filling up in your basin, right, in your wash tub basin. If you turn the water down, it's still filling up, right? So if you cut coal off but you leave agriculture, you're still emitting, you're still filling up that basin, albeit much more slowly. So we need to make sure that we consider that and target, but we can do it. We don't have to just target coal or just target agriculture. We can target everything at the same time, and we just need the policies in place to do that.